ننتقل إذن إلى آسيا وفي اليابان، حيث نمت الصادرات بنسبة 5.1% خلال ديسمبر الماضي، مسجلة أداء أدنى من التوقعات وسط تراجع حاد في الشحنات الموجهة إلى الولايات المتحدة.
وكشفت طبعا وزارة المالية اليابانية عن انكماش الصادرات إلى السوق الأمريكية بنسبة 11.1% في مقابل نمو الشحنات إلى الصين بنسبة 5.6%. إلى ذلك سجلت الواردات زيادة سنوية قدرها 5.1%، متجاوزة بذلك تقديرات المحللين.
في مقابلة مع الشرق، قال كبير استراتيجي الاستثمار لمنطقة آسيا والمحيط الهادئ في معهد بلاك روك للاستثمار بن باول، قال إن المستثمرين يجب أن يكونوا أكثر انتقائية ودقة للاستفادة من تقلبات الأسواق، كما أعرب عن تفاؤله بشأن ديون الأسواق الناشئة والأسهم في الهند والصين.
So firstly, I'd say in terms of investment style, for a long time you could have a so-called 60-40 portfolio and then don't touch it, and that worked very, very well. Now we think that investors are going to need to be substantially more active in two ways. Firstly, they're going to have to be much more selective, much more picky in exactly what risk they want in the portfolio, be that by asset class, be that by geography or other. Secondly, we're going to have to be a lot more dynamic as investor. So the era of set and forget, you just have 60-40 and then you don't touch, we think this is over. We're seeing much more volatility and hopefully as investor, actually we can try to take advantage of this, this volatility. So in terms of how we invest, we think we need to be much more selective and to make investment decisions somewhat more frequently to try to take advantage of the volatility, which we think is very likely to continue, driven by geopolitics, revolutionary technology, and other kind of amazing stories, which we think are going to continue in the quarters and years ahead.
If traditional 60-40 portfolios are failing, and I remember we talked about this last year in 2025 Outlook, what specific Plan B assets does BlackRock recommend for regional sovereign wealth funds to hedge against global AI-driven volatility?
Yeah, I would say so. Private markets continues to be an increasingly important part of portfolios. We've been enthusiastic there for some period of time, so it's not totally new. But I think it's gaining more and more acceptance. Private markets is gaining more and more acceptance for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I would say a lot of companies, global companies, they don't list, they don't come on to public equity markets until they are already very huge. So as an investor, if we want to be able to tap into the growth opportunities of the future, be that in biotechnology, be that in AI, for us, unfortunately, or just as a matter of reality, you're going to have to use private market vehicles to be able to access those growth opportunities. We think that's likely to continue. So therefore, private markets, we think, are going to continue to play an increasingly large role for investors globally and here in the GCC.
So what about the opportunities in emerging markets by asset class, by region that BlackRock looks forward to in 2026?
Yeah. So on the fixed income side, we're overweight emerging market debt. We think that there are a number of emerging markets, not all of them I should say, but we feel there are a number of emerging markets who are delivering on fiscal policy promises they've made, moving balance sheets in a more sustainable direction, and they should be rewarded for this, which is to say that their funding should do well. So we are overweight emerging market debt markets. On the equity side, I would highlight a couple of geographies. Firstly, India has really fallen out of favor actually over the last year or so, mainly because it is not an AI story. And in a way, I think that's a good thing. So when we have a diversified portfolio, we don't want all of our bets to be AI. We are quite constructive AI, but of course we want diversification. So India is a different situation. Secondly, I would mention China. China has an amazing ability to manufacture, and this has continued even under stress of trade tensions over the last many years. So China's the export side of the economy continues to do very well, even with all of these headwinds. We think that that's going to continue, and again, this presents certain opportunities for investor.